I did exactly 3,562 days in what you're looking at now. This shit was not a game. Imagine getting to call your mother, father, sister, brother, friends you grew up without the mud done died. And this is the only place you get to grieve right here. And you can't because as you see, you got a bunkie. And imagine having a bunkie you can't stand. You gotta live with that. Imagine fighting for your life. A life sentence. Imagine fighting for a pill. This is what you looking at.
I think what it was that I knew I couldn't come out the same way I went in.
You knew what?
I knew I couldn't come out the same way I went in.
Okay.
And my father said something that was like spot on to me when I first turned myself in. He said, "You think you changed yourself because you went and got two jobs. You didn't change yourself mentally.
Mhm.
So you fell back victim to the same old circumstances that occur repeatedly
Mhm.
in this neighborhood."
Mhm.
So
The pattern of what you saw.
the patterns of myself on
Mhm.
how what the patterns I created to
Mhm.
survive out there,
Mhm.
which was when something go on, no matter who you are, height, small, I'm gonna shoot you.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Self
And
defense. Get you before you get me.
yeah,
Mentality.
yeah, like because something that I preach to the kids today is we grow up being spoken into about life or death,
Mhm.
right? And being spoke to like that, as kids growing, our brains are like sponges. We soak in what we hear. So ultimately, when we become these individuals who get out on the streets, we think that it's just about life or death.
Right. Right.
So what do we do when we out there?
Mhm.
I'm not gonna let you kill me. So what I'm gonna do?
Mhm.
I'm gonna try to kill you,
Mhm.
and I'll just let that's where that little slogan coming from. I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6.
Right. Right.
Because that type of mentality and that type of thinking ultimately leads you to be this person, this ruthless person on the street.
Mhm.
So, and I tell the kids today, like, you always know that there's always a third option. You have a choice to get away.
Right.
You have a choice to, you
Choose
know,
another option.
absolutely, other
Mhm.
than just kill you or you kill me or I go to jail for the rest of my life.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Outside of what we already know about how our how our communities was redlined and to be built this way.
Mhm.
You
So
know,
basically, along the lines of breaking generational curses, right?
generational trauma. Yes.
Yeah, breaking generational curses, breaking generational traumas. I think that's important because, like, how do we do better unless we just stop it? All teaching is not good teaching. All
That's why I
teaching is
speak
not
that.
good teaching. So it's like, I think where you're coming from, you want to start to break a generational curse,
Yes,
right? Am I wrong?
yes, that's it.
Right?
That's that was the whole purpose of me. That was my purpose of when I first went to jail. I'm like, I can't come out the same way I went in mentally.
Right.
Mentally, I
For
can't come
you and
out.
your son.
Yeah, ultimately to be able to withstand what I knew what was going to happen.
Right.
The fight that I would have to get into raising or trying to reacclimate myself into his life again.
I'm sure that's tough.
Yeah,
It could be
you know what I'm saying?
challenging, right?
Because that's they say we be wrestling with ourselves when we dealing with our children. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
No, it's true.
you
It's true.
know?
And you want to know something? They are actually a mirror of us because even when I'm looking at my children, I'm amazed by them just by watching them. Like, they're very creative children, and I'm just like, oh, and it fills the void in what I doubt in myself. It's like, well, I created that. So
Mhm.
just to see them blossom into even the good and the bad, the tempers, the snappiness, the all of that.
Mhm.
You see that in your children, but they are a mirror. So what did your son say to you when you came home? What was that like? Like the meeting between you and him, was it awkward?
Yeah, well, the first time I saw my son after getting locked up in 2015, the first time I saw him, he was It was 8 years
Mhm.
later.
Mhm.
It was 8 years later. My brother brought him up there, and I seen him for the first time inside of the prison walls. Well, I was in a halfway house. You know, halfway houses. You go to prison, you do your jail time, you stayed out of trouble.
Can I just say, hold on for a minute, brother? That was dope. You brought the baby up there because behind the scene, people behind the scene that played a part, they don't get enough credit.
They don't get
Like
enough
for
credit.
real,
They don't
like
get
the
enough
people
credit
that
at all.
plays a part in making sure the children get, you guys stay connected and helping you get through that journey, whether it's letters, pictures, and stuff. Like y'all, that's dope,
Yeah.
and that's a different type of loyalty.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
You,
yeah, I'm
they,
sorry, but
no,
go
you
back.
good.
I just wanted to give you that.
No,
I
no,
wanted to
you
give
you
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 that
have
on
to now.
camera.
You have to give your family credit for how they pulled through for you, in those times, because the part people don't talk about is when you get sentenced to that time, you ultimately sentence them too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You put them through this emotional roller coaster too, because you may be the person that that they go to for certain information, or you may be the person that they go to, what I'm saying, to help them get over the hump. You may be the person that they look to for safety and protection. So, ultimately when you get sentenced to that time, you ultimately sentence them to that time as well, because, you know, regardless, I don't care how tough you is or how many
Right.
people you kill or any of that. When you in that jail cell and you don't got nobody to call, you calling mom, brother, sister for money.
Right.
So you got to give them their kudos when they pull through for you like that. Most don't, because
Mhm.
we come back out here and we do the same thing, and we forget about family.
Mhm.
But today, the way I am today is like I'm all about family. So, but ultimately, my brother brought him up there to see me, and the first time I seen him, it was like I was looking at myself walking. I'm like,
Yeah.
because
What was he like? What was his demeanor like? Like,
he's hard to read. He's
mhm.
like me, like he's real reserved, but he's hard to read. But I left when he was 6. He was 15. He was 15 now when I see him again. So I'm like, I'm trying to learn him, get to see his movement, see what he's like. You know what I'm saying? So when we start to take pictures together, we like doing the same movement, and it freaks me out. I'm like, what the?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So we kind of move alike, and outside of the decisions that he made for himself today, I'm always gonna be dad. You know what I'm saying? I just gotta learn how to do it from a safe distance to where though you still know I'm dad, I'm still here for you, but you know, you gotta see for what it's like now.
Right.
And that's the one thing that sucks about time.
Mm.
Time tell you learn just how important time is when you see kids grow up
Mhm.
or you see somebody age.
To me, that's the word of the day, time. Do you know how deep that go?
Hmm.
Like, just if you just put time, it's not to be wasted. Honestly, as I grow, I'm working on my time. You get what I'm saying? But time. Oh man, yeah.
Hmm.
Would that hit home when you just said time?
It's mind bending. It freaks you out. It's like seeing something that we're not used to seeing in this life or in this dimension.
But even like think about it, y'all. If you think about how like we look back on the 70s and you look at how time changed, like
Yeah,
the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, it's eerie.
yeah, it is.
It's like
It's
ew, like
weird.
this is
Like,
like weird.
or you
Like
look
this
at
is
an old
strange.
movie or something, and
Like
you
how
see
things are like
how the
rapidly
graphic,
changing.
like, wait, it looked like that around that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So like this stuff is like mind bending,
Mhm.
and then you see your kid, like to see your kid grow.
Yeah,
Like I
it's
never understood why people start crying when they see their kid graduate or
oh
they
please.
like.
Oh
He
please. It's a flood. I'm flooding.
says a flood.
No, I'm flooding. Like what? Because it's more of like an emotional thing. Like my baby, shout out to my baby that's graduating on
Absolutely,
Thursday, my oldest,
absolutely,
and I'm gonna be flooding
yeah.
because that's an accomplishment that he wanted to do.
Hmm.
So time, yeah, time is very important. But getting back to when you said that when you got locked up, everyone else around you gets locked up, right? do you turn off your emotions? How do you turn that feeling of getting it when you want to, then automatically just stop not getting it when you want to? What
What's
happens?
getting it?
Getting it. Like getting it.
Well, you
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 know,
gotta
we're trying
turn.
to,
You gotta turn.
we trying to be smooth for
Yeah.
YouTube. We just want to dive in. Like in there, you said you was on a run. You was trying to gather as much as you can, right? Then you go from doing that to not having it at all.
Well,
What does that do? You just solely detach your emotions? Because this is all the ones.
you have to, because for one, whatever your thing is, you ain't going in there off it. You know what I'm saying? You're around a bunch of dudes all day. You know what I'm saying? And like it's that's not when something is taken away from you, you ain't really worried about it no more,
Mm-hmm.
because you know you can't get it.
Right.
Would you luck up on a guard? Some
Right.
people do.
Right.
But for the most part, 90% of us, we just like, all right, well, I'm in here. Like, now you could take the chance to self mutilation. You
Mm-hmm.
could do that route. But ultimately, when you become so spiritually aligned, like you really start to like learn about, connecting in this journey that you go on, where you start to feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
You know what
Find
I'm
a
saying?
different form of fulfillment, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So you start to study your body, you start to study your mind, you start to study,
Would you say discipline?
discipline. Definitely, that plays a major role.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, a lot of that stuff that that you got to leave behind. Even when it comes to sex, or when it comes to your freedom, it's the same. I can't get it right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So
So
of course you would have to mentally
yeah, check that.
go to a
Check
place and
out.
check that out. It's
Hmm.
almost like being celibate,
Hmm. You
or
gotta really tap into checking
yeah,
out.
checking out.
It's a mental. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, every aspect of your life deals with the mind.
Mhm.
It's the mind.
Mhm.
Just like they always say, don't talk to yourself.
Right.
Like, it's bad. Don't talk to yourself.
Right.
But ultimately, what you're doing when you talk to yourself, we have these transmitters and that listens. You understand what I'm saying? They're like, be careful what you speak out loud, because the mind's gonna take.
A mental note.
We're
Yeah.
gonna take this mental note, and what happens when you start to take this mental note? You start moving like it. That's
Mhm.
why they say, yo, say these affirmations daily.
Mhm.
You start moving like it.
Right.
So when you start to put yourself in this place where you want to check out from things, you're gonna move like that. You're
Mhm.
not gonna be sitting up here thinking about, coming here like, man, I'm about to try to crack one of these seals. Like, I got to get some
Yeah,
pussy.
that's
Like,
the
I gotta,
furthest of it. That's
yeah,
the
like,
furthest thing
yeah,
on
that
your
shit
mind.
is like so far fetched.
Yeah.
Like, you don't think
But
it's gonna be
okay,
you.
going into it, that's what you thinking. But after a while, it's like fuck,
Yeah, after
right?
a while, you sit up there, you think about the times you had with individuals, and you go on this journey where though that's the thing. But like I said, when you start to really tap into yourself, especially if you got you a workout crew,
Mhm.
them niggas know when you've been screwing around with yourself.
Okay.
Them niggas know. You know what I'm saying? You out there working out. Today we was
You was
just doing
good. You was good.
30 pull-ups and 100
Right.
push-ups, and tomorrow I come out here, I'm
You
doing
tired as
10,
hell.
I'm doing 5, and I'm only doing. They were like, yeah, I know what you've been doing. Give me 10 more, nigga, since you want to be messing around. You
Yo.
know what I'm saying? So it's a form of discipline to stay physically strong,
Right.
and to build yourself up and to stay disciplined. And
Mhm.
that really takes a lot of mental.
I think also, relationships, fresh home from being in bondage, it can definitely take a toll on both parties. On our side, the individual who's coming, you know, from being incarcerated, you have these goals and plans and aspirations to want to achieve, you know, certain goals for yourself. And ultimately, that'll get sidetracked when you get out here and you want companionship from someone, and we really don't be really understanding the full magnitude of really emerging into that lane, because we coming from a place where we don't really get that we don't get that physical love.
that takes a lot of mental to lock in. You know,
Yeah.
what I'm saying like that, especially with dealing with religion.
Yep.
You know what we practice in Islam, like self mutilation and dealing with that, like that's a no no. It's a form of what I'm saying. We got to
Yeah.
think about other things that's playing a part while you're doing that.
Right. So, on a serious note, when you are doing that time, whatever time it is, whether it's 5 through 10, how the mental state, like you stated, is very, very important. But how do you get to that place of the motivation of wanting to do better? Does it come from a place of I don't have nothing else to do? Like, do you find another strength of do I pick a religion for a higher power, for strength? Like, what? Because you have some people that didn't choose Christianity or being a Muslim, and they did their term just with staying focused, maybe by reading the whole encyclopedia.
Mhm.
I don't know, but just to self educate yourself. What is that like? Finding the strength or like?
Well, me when I walked in and I said this was the educational journey, like a quick shot at my background was I wasn't the bright kid in school. Like I'm saying, I was very athletic. Like my thing was, what I'm saying, certain sports. But it wasn't like school just wasn't a thing for me. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, you go through so much in your personal life. They want you to go to school and still think that you could thrive in an environment.
Mhm.
And I felt like I just wasn't a kid who just belonged to sit there for 8 hours and just focus on this. You know what I'm saying? But back then, you know, special education was just this thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they was putting in jamming any and everybody in it that had some type of deficiency in their life somewhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I went through it and it was like I just got to a space where it just didn't matter to me no more.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And then now today I'll be like, I'm glad I ain't learned that.
Because we all was in school
Yeah,
like
we
that. Like,
learning all this
bro,
wrong
what are
ass
we gonna
information.
do with this stuff? But it all plays a part in some way, realistically.
Yeah.
Like it does play a part where you be like, wait, what was that? Like,
Learning, we in school in our era, learning, you had to learn all this wrong
but you
information.
are you want to know everything. I'm listening to you speak,
Mhm.
right? And how, school is not for everyone, but you self-educated yourself in there, which you was telling me. But you are a teacher. How do you feel about teaching the children? And just so, matter of fact, speaking of the kids, I saw you do something at
Yeah.
one of these schools. Was it Hubbard?
Yeah,
What was
it
that
was
like?
Maxon. It
It
was
was
Maxon.
Maxon?
My alma mater, yeah.
Oh,
I went to Maxon.
okay.
I had the
Holla.
best of both worlds. I
I
lived on the
mean,
West End
really.
and went.
So you was at Maxon. I don't know why I thought
Yeah.
it was at Hubbard.
Nah, I was at Maxon.
So you went to What was that like going there doing that?
Best of both
What did
worlds.
that feel like?
What, going to Maxon, living in the projects?
Just, yeah, but all of it. What did it feel like? Okay, wait. What did it feel like going into Maxon, like you said, from the projects? What did that feel like? Let's start there.
Well, I played sports, so I was kind of cool with the majority.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because we played sports and stuff like that. So I was already cool, to go down to that end and play sports. Had a little bit of family sprinkled out throughout the town.
Mm-hmm.
But, middle school was just, you're finding yourself. We're happy to be free
Mm.
from our parents.
Yeah.
So we doing shit. We cool
Right.
with everybody everywhere. And this right here is a very important part to a lot of things because middle school is where you get your freedom, you running rampant, you doing what you gotta do, you making friends on this end, that and that and it's so sad because this is what I say now because the same people that you became friends with in middle school, you ultimately had to potentially be your ops later on.
Oh, that's bad. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I swung Epps with them. We done kicked it. We laughed. We joked. We smoked. We drunk. We did two mans. We swung. We did all that. And then ultimately to get to high school and be like, oh, I'm from over here.
But you grow out of people, and that's
Mm.
my thing. Like I'm firm on that. Like everything is seasonal. Some people stay for a long season.
Mm.
Some people were good at that time. It's cool, and it don't even gotta be no beef. It could just be like, yo, it was cool. Like I see you when I see you.
Right.
And at that time, we enjoyed ourselves. But it's just time to move on, and that's what helps me cope with people entering and leaving in my life,
Mm-hmm.
because if we was to like hold on to people like how we hold on like a possession, that's not healthy. So it's like just enjoy the season for what the season is.
Yeah, right.
You
Well, we
know?
learn that now because now in this phase where we at now, it's like you you learn that those are some good guys down there too. Some of them niggas is alright down there. You know what I'm saying? They learn the same thing and vice versa. Like, you
Just
ain't
made a bad
right.
decision.
We was cool when we was younger, and then 15, 20 years in span, we trying to kill each other, and now we like, yo, what's good, bro? How you been?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, everything. I mean, as long as it ain't no, certain like, real life death was involved, but if we just out here swinging and banging and doing whatever we doing, then it's like, yo, these guys ultimately end up being your friend. And let's not talk about being in prison with them.
Mm,
This shit H Boone Coon in jail.
mm,
I was just trying to take you down out there.
mm,
Pause, not like that, but I was trying to blow you down out there.
mm-hmm.
You shot at me a few times, but we get in jail, we do what we do, and then ultimately it be us in there, and it's like we from the same town. I ain't gonna let these out of town niggas punch on you like that.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gonna let them do the same thing to me. Now we done build the bond. We playing cards together, eating with each other, and then get back on the street and then go back to the same thing.
What was that like speaking to the children after doing, you did 9 or 10 years, after 10 years, that's a long time. That's a
Decade, yeah.
long time. What was that like coming home after going through what you've gone through, speaking to the children at Max? What did that feel like to even be in front of them? Because I love myself some kids.
Yeah, man.
What? That's huge.
There was a step that had to be taken, because of what I'm coming home pushing and what I'm trying to do with my brand and trying to get to these kids. It felt great being able to speak to these kids, and I wanted to be more. I didn't want to just speak to them and then disappear like I did. Like I want to be able to go back there and like do a brief checkup and keep coming at them because it's like and I got some handshakes at the end too from some kids, so I knew that it reached
Aw.
somebody,
And that's what it's about.
and I wanted
That's
to
what
go
it's
back
about.
just to, what I'm saying, because all right, we know what the culture is like. We know that they got gang culture there, but it's like that's the stage where you need to get to them because once they get to high school,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna pick their areas.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
That
Like,
middle school is so crucial.
that's a
That it
crucial
is.
point.
That is.
So it felt good talking to them, and then the handshakes the kids were giving me at the end. I knew somebody was catching on, but when you at that age and your friend is a little bit more advanced than you and you tagging along because y'all both from the same area, you know that it's certain kids that just need to hear that voice that you speaking frequently.
Right.
They need to know that you care and you start showing up and start, doing things for them and they get to look at you like, okay, he care.
Yeah.
I can like
And
start.
plus, and you know what? It's important hearing it from someone who's been through it.
Yeah.
So that's very
Yeah.
important. So walk me through your brand
Yeah.
after prison.
Uh,
Walk me through that. Introduce that. Let's get it.
well, Ex
You
Felon.
must like it because you did a
Yeah.
You heard him? He was like,
This I tell people all the time. I got a composition book, and I'm only on page 3.
Say it again.
I said I have a composition book written out front to back, and I'm only on page 3. So as far as what I'm displaying out to the world,
Right,
like
right.
so we still got a lot of ways to go.
Introduce it.
Yeah, well, my brand is called Ex Felon to Excelling, and basically it's about reducing recidivism when it comes to the individuals who's been incarcerated or been impacted by incarceration. So the women and men who's coming home from prison, I want them to be able to tap in with me and give them resources, like big time resources that can change their life. You know, and
Resources like how? What type of
it's like
resources?
me solidifying my transitional housing, being able to put them into a space where they don't have to worry about where they're gonna be sleeping at.
Mm-hmm. That's important.
Put them there, and then you know making these connections and resources that I have networking. I want to be able to open up, a space to where though you come, you got a job. It's a job over right there. It's a job here.
Connect.
Job here. All you got to do is figure out which direction you want to go and go.
Mm-hmm.
And we have people that's gonna help you with your credit. You're gonna build it. We're gonna have people help
What
you.
about counseling, therapy?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's important.
it's a part of the brand,
Right.
because I want to be able to get into the school and do it's like, at risk children, because so many of us, I was one of them. When you get to a certain point, we talk about the school to prison pipeline, or the school to prison pipeline. Let's do a intervention to where though we don't got to kick them out to the street,
Mm.
or we don't have to send them out to the street and let them, and then let society wash them away and flush them out.
Right.
They get to see people who've been to prison,
Mm-hmm.
who
Provide
changed their
that
life
comfort
around,
after.
provide that to them,
Yeah.
show up for them, because we all don't have people to show up for us at sports.
Right.
I was fortunate enough to have my father show up for me.
Mm-hmm.
But for these kids that want that type of showing, like, we're gonna show up for them.
Right.
You have an at-risk school, call us in. We're gonna come in. We're gonna check on them. We're gonna pop up on them. We're gonna show up at class for them. We're gonna show them that we care.
Right.
Need after school care. We're gonna do that. Like, we want to be able to stop them from going to the street.
I think that's awesome. I
Right.
think that's awesome. How do people get in contact with you if they need to get in contact with you for the information? What the hell did I just say?
The contact. Yeah, I heard you. I heard you. You just getting.
How do people get in contact with you if they wanted more information about your brand? Because
But
this is good, and I think
yeah.
that it is important. I always said that. I said, how does it when people come home from prison, instead of just throwing them out there? How do you guys prepare them for it? Because
Well, they
it's so
don't.
crucial.
They don't.
Like,
They
you get what
don't.
I'm saying?
If I could chime in for like a second,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
even like working in the halfway house, like seeing what they like got trying to transition into, like the halfway house I worked in the north.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like
You want to sit? You want to sit right here and tell them? You sure?
yeah.
Okay.
But, the living conditions there were just like how do you expect them to go back into like I won't say reality, but like the real world.
Mm-hmm.
They got them living in like this, like how they live in. Like,
Right.
it's mice and roaches there. Like, they're leaving a place that's almost already like that to come to something like that, but it's supposed to be something decent so they can feel comfortable enough to go back.
Right.
Before I worked there, it was just like the opposite.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
it's just like how do you expect them to really go back into the world?
Do you now? Here's another factor. Do you think they don't want them to adjust? Because that's another factor we got to think
I
about
feel
too.
like it's just a test.
Yep,
Like,
it could be,
mentally.
but I do think they need to mentally prepare them, like
Well, it's a big business.
counseling and right.
It's a big
right.
business. They have those things in place, but you're not going to find the staff to want to put up with that 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 environment for too long. They check out, you ain't getting paid enough.
Mm-hmm.
So the funding that they do get for these places is the reason why. The reason why I want to start my transitional housing is because of what I've seen while I was in Africa, what I've seen while I was in prison, how I see how these guys come home from prison and end up with nothing. So this is the reason why I want to do this, because this is how you reduce recidivism, when you offer these guys a stable place and a stable opportunity to flourish.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna do that when you just worrying about just the budget cut you getting, and then it's getting funneled somewhere else, but the living condition is poor. Like, these guys gonna be in this halfway house doing whatever they want to, and the attention that they're gonna be getting to want to learn and go out here and progress, look for jobs, get jobs, and do anything of the such is going to be at an all-time low.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because you got good people in these places that want to help, but what's outweighing them?
Right.
3 to 10. Like, you got 10 that don't care, you got 3 who do.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you have somebody in power who's telling you not to push forward or push too hard for particular individuals, you gotta abide by those rules and regulations.
Right. Point
But
blank. Period.
yeah, so this is a big business. This is a big business, and it's all about money to certain people. This is how they make their living. So unfortunately, it's nothing we can really do when it. Well, it's something we can do. My brand is what we can do
Mm.
because it's outside of the system. You know what I'm saying? You
That's
build something
that was smooth.
outside of the
That was
system.
smooth. That was smooth. You heard him? You heard him? My brand. That's the solution.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
So back to what I was saying. How do people get in contact with you if they wanted to be a part of this?
Well, they can get in contact with me through my Instagram. Ex Felon to Ex Felon. It's all about, you can't erase your background. You can only, forge this path to move from one place to the next destination. That's where the brand came from. Sitting in my cell and thinking about, like, what is it that I can do to come out here and make a change? And it was an ex felon who's coming out here to excel. You know what I'm saying? Because ex felons don't get a fair shake. Like,
Mhm.
some people make mistakes. You got some people who ain't gonna own up to their crime. But regardless of what, you have some people who's coming out who's really serious about changing their life,
Mhm.
and they ain't gonna get the opportunity because that stigma that's stuck on their back.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Which, due to mass incarceration, due to, all those type of things, we knew that, that label that they put on us, like, oh, he's been incarcerated. That's just a new N word.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, you've been in prison.
Yep.
Nah, we don't got nothing for you.
Mhm.
And, speaking about today, like what's going on today, what they rolling back, all this stuff they rolling
Oh,
back,
please,
man, this stuff
right?
is getting more and more sick by the day. So, if you really need to tap in and get with me, man, we starting a whole movement out here. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying?
What did you learn from this whole experience when you got locked up, the charges? How has that changed you? What did you learn? Where are you at now? Tell us the man you are at this moment.
Well, I learned a lot from, that whole ordeal, you know, being self-educated. I think that was one of the most important things that I ever could have did. One of them, the most important one, when I took my shahada and became Muslim.
Mhm.
And why? Because I needed something that connected, that I could connect with and I could relate to,
Mhm.
and that I always felt like this was the move for me. I just wasn't ready all those years ago. So I told myself, if I make it out of this, and I make it, and once I get here, and then once I get settled, I'm gonna take my shahada and I'm gonna go on my journey. And in that journey, so many great things been happening for me,
Mhm.
even inside the building. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I met so many great people who played a hand in helping me enhance my education mentally. You know, played a major part in that, and I just ran with it. I took off with it, and Islam been the greatest thing for me.
Mhm.
It helps you understand spiritual connection. You know, praying for something you never seen before, or
Mm.
praying
To a
to
higher
someone
power.
that you
Mhm.
never seen before. That's that what that takes. You know what I'm saying? And this has been nothing but beautiful. It's been
Mhm.
nothing but beautiful. Like, I've really been blessed.
But I think an important factor when you choose to do the right thing, then I think that's when you really usher in good things. Like, and I
Mhm.
think individually we have to find out what that right thing is for us
Mhm.
personally, but we do know it's not bringing harm, it's not causing us to get locked up, it's
Mhm.
not causing anything that's going to do damage
Mhm.
to anyone else. So when you choose to do the right thing and when you know better, you do better.
Mhm.
But I think what how people miss it often is you usher in good things when you do the right thing.
Mhm.
Like if you just set out to do bad things to people or you attack or you're being sneaky, then you're ushering that same energy back
Absolutely.
into your environment, into your life.
Mhm.
So, and what do they call that? Karma,
Karma.
right? And that is
Mhm.
very real. So I think what people need to understand, be careful what you put out. And it is all about mindset,
Mhm.
right? It's all about mindset.
You
You
can't
know.
expect that. You can't expect something from like just because you will give out, you can expect other people to give out.
No, but you are responsible for yourself.
Mhm.
Like don't even worry about it. Look
Yeah,
at it like you sowed the seed, keep it moving. Keep it smooth. Like that's my whole thing. Like I gave, but then at that time I felt like they must have needed it.
yeah.
And those were the seeds that I sowed that I'm gonna get back when it's flourishing season.
Mhm.
You get flourishing
Mhm.
season. So I think that's awesome.
Well, my brand is like, it's like I like to always say this, and I say this all the time. Excelling reduces recidivism by replacing the cycle of incarceration with structure, dignity, centered pathways to stability, purpose, and economic mobility. The program addresses the real drivers of reoffending, unemployment, lack of mentorship, fractured identity, and disconnection from opportunity by providing job placements and all those type of great things, and getting these individuals who's coming home from prison acclimated back into society, dealing with technology, teaching them about all those type of things, teaching them about credit, like how to be more responsible when it comes to your own home, your finances.
Mhm.
I mean, because those type of things is solid, and
Right.
also
Generational wealth, building more.
absolutely,
Yeah. What's important, what matters, what doesn't matter.
hmm
That's important for our community too.
yeah, because you gotta
Because what are we building?
you you
Like,
you
you know?
you're building you. What I always like to tell people is when you're dealing with people who's come home like that, the youth,
Yeah.
the future of our nation.
Yeah.
Like you got to be able to tap in with them. You got to be able to
I
teach
would
them the
like
way.
for a lot of the school systems to start having like financial classes for
Hmm
children in our community. Like, please
hmm
believe they have it in the other communities.
hmm
But I would like to see that in our generation, like not our generation, but in our children, like to get that type of teaching because we look and fly, but what are we building?
hmm
Like, you know,
Right.
so
That's that. That goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like, I don't think everybody's not meant to sit in the classroom 24 hours a day.
mhm.
I mean, 8 hours a day. So you have some kids or some people who are more creative when they're out in open space.
Right.
So this, helping them get outside and start seeing what they can plant and grow. Like I got this thing where though I always was like fascinated with teaching kids about how to plant and grow their own fruit, vegetables, and herbs. And then ultimately, when they harvest, take them inside the school, clean them, and then they have a culinary class. We get to cook the food that we watch grow, we
Mhm.
plant and grow. So
Right.
it sparks something in them to where as though you don't know what that can do to a kid. Because when we start speaking about, longevity and the way the world going, we need agriculture fields. We need more black farmers.
Right. Yes.
So we like so to plant that
Yes.
seed in them to want to be able to be planners. It don't no there's no gender
Mm-mm.
specific when it comes
No,
to that.
it's beautiful
Hmm
too. Like to own your own crop, and
Absolutely.
that's honestly that's like one of my dreams. I just want a nice farm, like
hmm
luxury farm,
hmm
luxury farm.
Yep. I was getting at one of my mentors and I was explaining to him. I'm like, man, have you ever heard of a CSA? He's like, nah. I'm like, it's a community supported agriculture where we know we all have money in on a plot. And so what we do is we teach the community, they come in and they pay for their small piece of plot. And we as the people teach them how to plant and grow fruits, vegetables, and herbs
Mhm.
as a community. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Then we take those things because what you learn, you can ultimately go get your own plot
Right.
somewhere, acres, and you start investing and you start doing the same thing there.
Mhm.
Or we take it to the school system. Man, either one of Elon Musk brothers, or I forgot the guy's name. He started it in Texas. He did it in Texas. He got an all they got an all vegan school.
Mhm.
They plant and grow their own vegetables and they harvest those things and they eat their own food that they grow.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So this helps cut down on the ultra processed foods that we giving our kids.
Yep.
This help cut down on
Them high
the
hormone levels
pyramid
and just
scheme
all
that
types of
you know.
stuff. Yeah.
Survivor's remorse is a real big thing for me. Or I believe anybody who grew up in the neighborhoods that we did. But I'm encouraging people who coming home from prison, when you fully tap into yourself and you fully, sitting with yourself and you trying to elevate and change, the difficult part is when you start to elevate and you gotta leave certain shit behind. And that certain shit meaning like, niggas you grew up with that's dead and shit, and we live by, certain rules and regulations where, certain things ain't done to even that out and make that right. We still feel scarred. I know I do. Still feel scarred for some of the things, but I sat with myself and asked myself, like, was elevation and, development of what I'm trying to do, my children, my nieces, nephews, family. Because it's like, one of my barbers, we was talking, and he was like, yo, why are these kids that can't say no to games? So I'm like, it's not about, not saying no. It's bigger than that because, like, it's a stigma that comes with when you come from a certain area. You know what I'm saying? And
it's a stigma that's going to get carried from
It's-
generation to
Yeah,
generation. to
and that's
generation.
what it is. It's like peer pressure. Just like us when we come to